Good morning, you're welcome to another beautiful segment on our breakfast news this morning. On our major headlines this morning, manufacturers lament as diesel eats 720 naira per litre. Babcock lecturer arraigned for stealing 2 cars. On our political news this morning regarding the salary, Kogi PDP worried over percentage payments by APC. On our sport news this morning, Victor Osimhen boosts Napoli's Serie A title bid with breeze. On our foreign news this morning, Barack Obama tests positive for COVID-19. Russia-Ukraine war, 13 latest updates to know as Turkey seeks Russia's help. On our entertainment news this morning, Davido's father gifts singer another land in Banana Island. So full details coming up next. Manufacturers lament as diesel eats 720 naira per litre. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has sought urgent intervention from the federal government to support the production of goods as diesel price eats 720 naira per litre. The chairman Manufacturers Association of Lanre Popoola stated this in Ibadan on Sunday while speaking on the increase of prices of petroleum products and lack of power supply. He said it is difficult staying ensuring production at this time as diesel has gone up to 720 naira and 730 naira per litre. It is getting extremely difficult to produce and I don't know how we are going to cope because 70% of industries are running on diesel. There is no light. There is no power supply. We are having 10% of what is used to be, whereas the disposable income of people is not increasing and the cost of products are going up. Even in my factory now, we are only running 1 shift instead of 3 shifts of 3 or 8 hours. Other businesses are also running limited hours on diesel as they cannot afford to use generators all day, Popoola added. The chairman noted that if the situation persisted, it could lead to bigger issues that would further affect the nation's economy and increase the hardship of Nigerians. The worst part is that diesel suppliers cannot agree with organizations to make a flexible payment plan, such as installments, while they deliver the product in trust. They cannot again supply you with diesel and allow you to pay in 2 weeks. It is either you do cash and carry or pay ahead because they too cannot predict the cost of the product. And I don't blame them. Imagine you bought diesel last week at 630 naira per litre and the next day it is sold at 730 naira per litre. How will you replace your stock? He said. Popoola stated that the way forward was for the government to come in and assist manufacturers by giving some rebates on diesel, adding that that was the only lifeline aside from manufacturers for transporters that are bringing food from the north or taking products to the east or Lagos. Now, the cost of the logistics would have doubled by 100%, if not 200%. Maybe the government can come in and do a kind of palliative for us. It is either we have lights 24 per week or to run our factories or do a both. Unfortunately, we don't produce diesel in this country. If the refineries are working, it is a different ball game. The country will have had it better now if the refineries are now working. Now, so the more the international prices of petroleum products go up, the higher the prices of what we are going to get from them, Popoola said. Babcock lecturer arraigned for stealing 2 cars. The police at the Zone 2 Command Lagos have arrested a lecturer at the Babcock University, Professor Patrick Enyi, aged 62, and charged him before a Lagos magistrate court for allegedly stealing 2 cars worth $20,000 and 1.4 million naira belonging to Miss Chocolate Oba Soaya. Court sitting at the Ebute Meta Magistrate Court, Oyingbo, Lagos, on 3-count charges bordering on stealing and forgery. Police Counsel Francis Igbinosa informed the court in the charge marked D/03/2022 that the defendants committed the offense in 2012 and 2018 at 17 at the Yemi Adesoji Street, Alamutu Estate, Fagba Iju in Lagos State. Igbinosa told the court that the defendant, a professor, allegedly stole 2 unregistered cars, namely a Lexus valued $18,000 and a Nissan Maxima cars valued at $12,000, belonging to the complainant, Dr. Chocolate Oba Soaya. Igbinosa further told the court that the defendant's compliant landed property and used the documents to sell part of the land for 1,400,000 naira and converted the money to his use. He said the offenses the defendant committed were punishable under sections 8287, 10, 3651, 3D, E, and 287, 1, 94B, CD of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to the charges, and the magistrate, Mrs. Fowowe, granted him 1 million naira bail with 2 sureties in like sum. Fowowe adjourned the case till 21st of April 2022 for trial and ordered that the defendant be kept at the Ikoyi Correctional Facility till he perfected the bail conditions. On our political news this morning regarding the salary, Kogi PDP over worried percentage payments by APC government. The People's Democratic Party in Kogi State has expressed worry at the percentage payment of salaries at both the local government and state levels. A statement issued and made available to newsmen on Sunday in Lokoja stated that such practice under the leadership of Governor Yahaya Bello, who also doubles as a presidential aspirant under our Progressive Congress, was questionable despite the huge debt it has plunged the state into since assuming office in 2015. The statement signed by Comrade Dayo Onibiyo, the party's director for media and communications, read in part, "We are worried at this so embarrassingly low and inhuman payments which are amounting to nothing but added debt to the state's profile on the domestic profile and the restaurant's external debt from their army of borrowings, which when put together may just sink the state into hell of debt." The party noted that despite the release of the bailout it applied for and government approval, but was denied its administration under the immediate past governor, Captain Idris Wada, and ultimately given by Buhari to his godson, Bello, the APC-led debtor government has not been able to make the workers smile, as it pays percentage when it cares to manage to pay. We therefore charge the state government to please turn a new leaf in the little time left for it to spend in office before it will be booted out in 2023 by God's grace, through the suffering masses and good people of the state vote, the statement said. The party also called on the labor sector to wake up to the realities of speaking, protecting, defending, and working in the interest of the betterment of its members rather than paying lip services while the innocent workers suffer in abject poverty, silence, and sudden death. As it also noted the jokes of paying new salary when the state could not even measure up to the old one they inherited. It called for prayer for God to deliver the state from the clutches of the debtors. Government sources, however, said that the percentage payment to the state workers last month was due to negative allocation from Federation accounts. Even at the time, we still made sure that the minimum wage promised by the state government was implemented for junior workers of grade level 1 to 6. The source, who did not want his name mentioned, told our correspondent in a telephone conversation on Sunday. He said that the state government was not responsible for the payment of local government workers and has nothing to do with what percentage they were being paid. On our sport news this morning, Victor Osimhen boosts Napoli's Serie A title bid with breeze. Victor Osimhen's brilliance secured maximum points for Napoli in the league trip to Veneto. The Nigerian international stood out with his double in the 2-1 triumph over Hellas Verona in Sunday's Serie A encounter. He scored in each half of the Blues increased their chances of emerging as winners of the Italian Elite Division. Still hurt by the 1-home defeat to AC Milan, the Partenopeians traveled to the Stadio Marca Antonio Bentegodi, aiming to return to winning ways. Knowing that they could ill afford any more slip-ups, Napoli grabbed the initiative and took the lead as early as the 14th minute from through Osimhen, who was set up by Matteo Politano. Politano's precise delivery from the right flank found the African striker, who powerfully headed the ball past a placed goalkeeper Lorenzo Montipo. On the other hand, Verona failed to register a shot on target in an underwhelming first-half performance, despite enjoying 56% of the possession. However, they stepped up their game in the second half, yet were unable to trouble the victors' backline marshaled by Amir Ramari and Khalido Koulibaly. With 20 minutes left on the clock, Osimhen doubled the advantage for Luciano Spalletti's team, sweeping the ball home after it was steered by Giovino Di Lorenzo. Verona pulled one back 7 minutes later with their first shot on target as Davide Faroni headed home Adrien Tamaze's season crossed to set up a nervy final. Notwithstanding the host dream of a leveler were crushed when they were reduced to 10 men following Federico second yellow card offense, which helped Napoli hold on to extend their unbeaten way run to 8 matches in all competition. Even at his heroics man of the match, Osimhen, who boasted of 8 league goals in the 2021 to 2022 campaign, was subbed off for Andrea Pentagna in the 90th minute. Whereas Koulibaly and Adri Frank, Zambo and Guissa were on parade from start to finish, while Algeria's Fawzi Goulam made a cameo appearance. Thanks to those results, Napoli climbed to second in Serie A, having garnered 60 points from 29 matches, 3 points below current league leaders AC Milan. On our foreign news this morning, Barack Obama tests positive for COVID-19. Former President Barack Obama said Sunday that he tested positive for COVID-19. Both the 60-year-old Obama and his wife, Michelle Obama, are fully vaccinated and boosted. The former president said Michelle Obama has tested negative. Obama said his diagnosis is a reminder to get vaccinated if you haven't already, even as cases go down. In the Russia-Ukraine war, 13 latest updates to know as Turkey seeks Russia's help. Russia said Sunday that negotiators were making headway at talks to resolve war in Ukraine, more than 2 weeks after President Vladimir Putin ordered his army over the borders of its pro-Western neighbor. This is as Turkey sought Russia's help to evacuate its citizens stranded in Mariupol. Here are the latest developments in Russia's war in Ukraine. Over 2,100 killed in Mariupol. More than 2,100 residents of Ukraine's besieged city of Mariupol have been killed since hostilities began. The local authorities say raising the toll by almost 1,000 since Wednesday. A convoy of aid heading for the strategic southern port, where residents have been trapped without running water and power for close to 2 weeks, is blocked at Russian checkpoints. Mariupol faces a worst-case scenario if the warring parties do not urgently reach a concrete humanitarian agreement, the International Committee of the Red Cross ICRC warns. 35 dead near Polish border. 35 people die and more than 130 are injured when Russian troops launch airstrikes on a military training ground outside Ukraine's western city of Lviv, near the border with NATO member Poland, local officials says. Battle rage outside Kyiv. Fighting rages in the Kyiv suburbs as Russian forces advances ever closer to the capital. Only roads to the south remain open and Kyiv is preparing to mount a relentless defense, according to the Ukrainian president's office. Bucha to the northwest is entirely held by Russian forces, along with part of European Ukrainian soldiers at the scene, tell AFP. Foreign mercenaries killed. Russia says that an airstrike it called out in Ukraine near the Polish border killed 180 foreign mercenaries who had joined Kyiv's army in its fight against Russia. U.S. journalists killed. A U.S. journalist is shot dead in European. Medics and witnesses say becoming the first foreign reporter killed since Russia's invasion. Papers found on the reporter's body identify him as 50-year-old video documentary maker Brent Renard. Progress at talks. Russia Leonid Slutsky, a senior member of Russia's negotiating team, says that significant progress has been made following several rounds of talks hosted on the border of neighboring Belarus to resolve the fighting. Turkey asked for Russian help. Turkey has asked Russia to help evacuate its citizens stranded in Mariupol. Ankara's Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu says. Pope urges end to massacre. Pope Francis issues a plea for an end to the massacre in Ukraine, saying there is no justification for attacks on civilians. Molavik strike. 11 people are also killed in a strike on the southern city of Mykolaiv. The regional governor says the city lies on the road to the port city of Odessa, around 100 kilometers, 62 miles away. Attacks in East. A senior Ukrainian police officer accuses Russia of using phosphorus chemical bombs in the eastern Donbas region, where a separate airstrike on a monastery sheltering civilians wounds 30. 1,300 Ukrainian troops killed. Around 1,300 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed since the start of the invasion, Ukrainian President Zelensky said. The first time he has given a toll for Ukraine forces. Russia said on March 2 it had lost 498 soldiers, but Zelensky says the figure is closer to 12,000. At least 579 Ukrainian civilians have been killed, the UN says, stressing that the real toll is probably much higher. Hundreds arrested in Russian protests. Russian police detained more than 800 people across 37 cities for protesting Moscow military operation in Ukraine. Nearly 2.7 million flee. Almost 2.7 million people have fled the war in Ukraine, more than 100,000 of them in the past 24 hours, the UN says. More than half gone to Poland. The United States Deputy Secretary of State Wendy R. Sherman has explained that America is against Russia's war against Ukraine because it is one man's choice to wage a premeditated, unjust, unprovoked war against a sovereign country. Sherman, in an interview with us on Sunday, said Americans believe in sovereignty was being attacked by Putin. She added that Ukrainian people were either going to starve to death or freeze to death or die because they don't have the medicine. It is truly horrifying. On entertainment news this morning, Davido's father gives singer another land in Russia's island, in Banana Island. Nigerian singer Davido Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has received another piece of land in Banana Island from his billionaire father, Adedeji Adeleke. The singer took to his Twitter page to announce his newly acquired land, which was given to him by his father. Davido then appreciated his father as he reaffirmed his love for the older man. Woke up to another and from Popsy in Banana again, such a dope father. Love you, Pops, Davido wrote. The father of three revealed that the land will be used to build some crazy for his kids. He said, I'm about to build some crazy houses for my kids. This too comes in a month after he did a housewarming ceremony for his second home in Banana Island in Lagos. The singer had on January 6, 2022 launched his new home with a star-studded house party. Davido, popularly called Omo Baba Olowo, child of a rich man, had declared and celebrated his new home a month after the Aye crooner gifted himself a brand new Lamborghini Aventador. And that will be that on our breakfast news. To stay with us, we'll be right back shortly. Welcome back. We're still on our breakfast news this morning. The major headlines on our breakfast news. Manufacturers lament as diesel eats 720 naira per litre. Babcock lecturer arraigned for stealing 2 cars. On our political news this morning, salary Kogi PDP worried over percentage payments by APC. On our sport news this morning, Victor Osimhen boosts Napoli's Serie A tie to bid with praise. On our foreign news this morning, Barack Obama tests positive for COVID-19. Russia-Ukraine war, 13 latest updates to know as Russia-Turkey seeks Russia's help. On entertainment news this morning, Davido's father gives singer another land in Banana Island. And that'll be that on our breakfast news. To stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching. I remain your host, Makonjola Oluwatosin Esther. You have a very wonderful day.